My name's David, and I put a forecast out for what's going to happen at the end of January through about the middle of March. It's about 4 to 6 weeks there where really traumatic weather is going to come in. And it came to me in a vision, in a way of me saying, I don't know what you call it. I just know it's going to happen. I've had these things happen before to me, and I've kept my mouth shut. And then when that happened, I say, well, they should have been warned. Well, I was the one supposed to warn them. Those hurricanes that hit Florida, especially the middle west coast of Florida, I knew they were happening. And for about 5 years, they were tormented with it. Closed down Walt Disney World and closed down on lots of things on that part of the west coast. I laughed and said, no, it's either going to go south of here or to north of here. It never hits here. I knew it was going to happen. Just like I know that there's some traumatic events going to be happening across the Smoky Mountains. And these are things that are going to be happening. If you're living around there, you need to get out from there as quick as possible because it's going to happen. And people that live in the Smoky Mountains, they know that there are caves and things riddled all underneath it. So there was a dye test done up in parts of Ohio, and that water that went through there, they found all the way down into parts of North Georgia, where that water system just runs underneath there. And I'm not really sure when, but I know it's going to happen, where all that starts to collapse. And if you're on the Smoky Mountains, I wouldn't want to be, because it's going to be very traumatic. There's going to be few towns that wind up losing a lot of what they are. I've seen it. Just like here, where I'm at, it's supposed to be warm weather, not supposed to be cold and snowy. But yet, even the weather forecasters, people have said that what's happening in the South might happen once every 10, every 100 years. For it to happen 3 of the last 5 years is just unbelievable. But what I've seen coming is worse than all that. There's a lot of talk in the scientific world about polar shift. This is not a polar shift, but it is a wobble. And everybody knows that the Earth wobbles on its axis. It's not steady, stationary, that it moves here and there. Just moving 1 or 2 degrees can alter the way we get El Nino and El Nino. It can affect the weather all the way around. Well, what I've seen is more than 3, maybe 4, even 5% shift. And it's going to that there is going to sink further and further to the south. So people, be ready. It's going to happen. It's going to move back. But it's going to be gradually moving back. It's not going to move back all of a sudden like it is now. Lots of scientists think that things slowly happen. But sometimes in the earth, it's not a slow happening. They think Pangea happened many, many millions of years ago. But Pangea, from what I'm feeling and seeing, happened just a few million years ago. And that we're still shifting and we're still drifting away from each other. At one point, we were close enough to where it only took a day to sail from Brazil to the southwest coast of Africa. And now it takes about a week or more. The same thing with America. Parts of North America close to Europe was so much closer to what it is now. And the shifting of Pangea happening is still going on. And you look at Mariana Trenches and look at the Pacific Basin and things happening there. You could tell from there that there are shifts that are happening. Russia, as much as they'd like to stay together, they're not. Anywhere there is a major river that's running from China to Russia to India, going to shift lands away from everybody. North and South Korea, North and South Vietnam, they're going to break away just like Thailand and the Filipinos did. The only place that's not going to be affected is going to be Australia. But as much as they're digging and moving and things happening there, there's going to be something major that happens there in Australia. But here, I'm going to let you know, there is going to be a major shift in the pole, a wobble. And like I say, 1 or 2 degrees can make a difference in the type of weather we get here. So 3, 4, 5 degrees shifting north, and I believe northwest, going to open us up to a lot of the stuff that they experience in Alaska, Siberia, parts of Russia, coming further south onto the continent of the United States, Canada, Europe, Greenland, all these places, Finland, all these places, Sweden, Germany, Spain, France, all these are going to be filling these ships. They're going to wind up with cold like they have never felt before. And because of this shift also, I need to warn those that is on the United Kingdom and part of the Scottish and Ireland place. Be forewarned. You are going to experience a few tornadoes or hurricanes coming up that way like you have never seen before. Germany and France has already seen the shift. Italy, be warned that lots of the stuff that's happening here is going to set off a reaction to earthquakes and volcanoes throughout their area. In the Middle East, those around Arabia, Iran, Iraq, Israel, Jordan, all these places are going to be seeing a shift. One thing more you need to know, that the sands throughout North Africa will shift too. What was buried will become uncovered. What was barren will become green again. Rivers will start to flow like they had a long, long time ago. Why do I say this? Because I always said if they just knew what was going to happen, maybe they could do something. But the truth is, you can't do anything. Nobody likes to think of the earth as a living being, something living. But living is not like what we think it is. And if it's not, then the earth has that chance of being a live substance. It's full of bacteria, organisms, viruses, fungus, and stuff like that. And the earth heals itself. It's like the wobbling wheel. It too will learn to speed itself up so it can adjust itself. And that's what's happening. The earth is changing. Climate control, you're not going to be able to change it. Because what happened during the time of dinosaurs was lots worse than what it is now. And that happened real fast. I mean, with a fiery asteroid hitting off the Yucatan Peninsula to other places throughout the world where comets and asteroids have hit. It changed everything rapidly. Give you an idea, the gravity of the Earth only reaches so far, and as it reaches up, it is buffered by the Van Ryan belt. It still has a pull, but not like it can. But with the Van Ryan belt and the ozone layer kind of depleting a little bit, this gravity would go further into space than what it has. The moon will shift, causing more gravity pull. Asteroids and comets passing by may trek closer to Earth, causing more of a problem. NASA don't want to tell you these things, but they see it too. Lots of geologists and people that study history and ancient livings and stuff like life and all see it of all this happening. I once went to a doctor and I said, I'm sick with this. How did I get it? And the doctor said, well, you don't just one thing. You have what's called a cumulative effect. Every little thing that has happened in your life has built up to this. Every little thing that is happening on the earth is bringing this cumulative, these events by. Just know, between the last of January to about the middle of March, there's going to be a cold in the United States, in America, in Great Britain, in the United Kingdom, in Europe, like they have never felt before. And it's because of that pole shifting more than 3 feet. Very simply put, if it does that, and every people out there studying the weather and stuff, I'm not going to get in all the technical stuff with it. Just know that when that happens and they see it happening, there's really not much you can do about it. It's one of those once in 1,000 year events happen. I see it. I felt it. It's easy to tell that this is going to happen. And if you're not ready, you will be hurt. Your families will be hurt. Sometimes what happens, the way we lived in the past, was for a reason. And the way we're living now is on walking on crutches. You pull the crutch out and you're going to fall. If you're not ready to get down on your hands and knees and crawl when the crutches are pulled out, you're going to fall flat on your face and be hurt. And that's what this weather is. We lived on crutches for so long, and now it's got to be pulled out from under us. If you don't know how to survive in a real deep cold, deeper than what they've ever known, you're not going to survive. I want you to survive. I want you to be forewarned that this is going to happen. You're already seeing some signs of it. It used to start snowing in August in parts of the United States. In parts of the United States, it would last all the way until about the middle of April. Even snowing in May was not unheard of. But this is snow. This is deep, ground penetrating, freezing cold. Like that you have never seen. People up north talk about permafrost being harder than concrete. Imagine that permafrost reaching as far down as the Red River Valley. This state saying, well, take care and be safe in all that's going on. Bye-bye.